Welcome back, focused learners, to another explainer. So today we're looking at something totally fascinating that operates right under our noses. I mean, think about it. Every single day, we're just bombarded by these insane high-end visuals from massive global brands. We see them on our phones, we see them on huge stadium jumbotrons, we see them in high-fashion campaigns. But we kind of rarely stop to ask, who is actually making this stuff? Well, today, we are deconstructing a powerhouse creative studio with a seriously unforgettable name. Already been chewed. Let's go behind the curtain of the studio that serves as the creative engine for the world's most dominant brands. Okay, let's dive into this. What do Tiffany & Company, Marvel, and the NFL actually have in common? I really want you to think about that for a second. Because on the surface, right, these entities share absolutely zero DNA. One sells super delicate, high-end diamond jewelry, another is this massive entertainment juggernaut built on comic book superheroes, and the last one is literally the most watched, hardest-hitting live sports league in America. So, what is the hidden link? Well, it's not their audience, and it's definitely not their product. The answer? It's their visual execution. When these absolute titans of industry need to look their best, they actually turn to the exact same creative partner.
Section 1. The Creative Secret Weapon. Unveiling the studio connecting iconic brands.
It takes a really specific kind of punchy, confident energy to walk into a room with executives from the biggest companies on the planet and basically tell them, hey, we know how to make your brand look better. But here is their official definition, pulled straight from their own behind-the-sauce profile. Already Been Chewed, or ABC for short, is a creative studio that helps to elevate brands, launch products, and create immersive live experiences. I just love the absolute clarity of this mission statement. They aren't just out here making pretty pictures, right? They have three highly specific business outcomes. First, elevating a brand, giving it that premium, totally untouchable feel. Second, launching products, creating that visual hype that makes you want to buy something the very second it drops. And third, creating immersive live experiences. Now that last part is huge, and honestly, it's a massive trend in modern marketing that we're going to be exploring throughout this explainer.
Section 2. Core Studio Capabilities. How they make the magic happen.
Now, it's one thing to say you're going to launch a product for a massive corporation, but it's entirely another to sit down at a computer and actually execute that vision. And making that happen really comes down to three core mechanisms: design, motion graphics, and 3D animation. This is essentially the holy trinity of modern visual marketing. Design is your foundational aesthetic, right? The layout, the typography, the color theory. But then we add motion graphics. That takes that static design and literally breathes life into it, making it dynamic and rhythmic and just impossible to ignore as you're scrolling through your feed. And finally, 3D animation. This is where ABC really flexes their technical muscles, building entirely new worlds, rendering hyper-realistic products, and creating those larger-than-life visuals that totally drop your jaw. These three capabilities are basically the engine under the hood of this whole studio.
Section 3. Luxury to live sports. A spectrum of massive contrast.
So a lot of creative studios kind of find a niche, They only do fashion or they only do tech, but not ABC. And this brilliantly illustrates that massive contrast. Over on one side, you've got luxury brands. We're talking Louis Vuitton and Tiffany & Company. These are brands where every single pixel has to scream elegance, refinement, and exclusivity. The pacing is usually really slow, deliberate, and just beautiful. But then on the exact opposite side, you have sports and entertainment, live NFL events, ESPN rebrands, Marvel. The visual language here is aggressive, it's high-octane, fast-paced, and totally explosive. To have a single studio housing the talent capable of executing delicate luxury in the morning and then bone-crushing football graphics in the afternoon, that is remarkably rare. It requires a really deep, fundamental understanding of visual psychology across completely different demographics, and the list doesn't even stop there. Let's just look at the sheer volume of their top-tier global clients. We've got Nike, Google, Marvel, Disney, Celsius, Lexus, Coca-Cola. I mean, it literally reads like a who's who of the Fortune 500. This is rapid-fire proof of their dominance. Just think about the level of trust it takes for a company like Disney or Google to hand over their visual identity to an outside studio. It's monumental. ABC has really established themselves as the go-to problem solvers for the most iconic household names on Earth, whenever they need a high-stakes product launch or an unforgettable rebrand.
Section 4. The NFL Case Study. Concrete proof from the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, abstract brand claims and lists of fancy logos are great and all, but let's anchor this explainer by looking at a concrete, real-world case study. Listen to this quote from Jay O'Brien, the Vice President of Broadcasting and Game Day Productions for the Ravens. He says, Already Been Chewed brought an incredible mix of technical skill and creative vision to our open video and animation projects, helping us tell the Ravens story in a powerful new way. Their talent shines through every frame, and the feedback from our fans has been nothing short of tremendous. This right here is exactly why this matters. It's not just art for art's sake, it's art that drives real business impact. ABC combined their technical 3D animation skills with creative vision to generate an undeniable, visceral, emotional response from tens of thousands of diehard football fans right inside a stadium. That, folks, is the absolute definition of an immersive live experience.
Section 5. Behind the Sauce. The ethos of sustained success.
So we've seen what they do, who they do it for, and the insane results they get. But what exactly is the culture that allows a studio to maintain this level of sustained success at the absolute highest levels of industry? Well, just look at their highly energetic, confident brand identity. Guaranteed fresh, served hot daily, super official. Honestly, it sounds way more like a hypebeast streetwear drop or some legendary pizza joint than a traditional corporate creative agency. And you know what? That is entirely the point. Their internal culture aligns perfectly with their fast-paced output. They definitely don't take themselves too seriously, but they take the work incredibly seriously. They're out there serving up fresh, cutting-edge visual design every single day, and they absolutely have the swagger to back it up.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this single number, 2010. Look, in this super fast-moving world of design and motion graphics, studios pop up and disappear literally overnight. Trends change, technology completely evolves, and a lot of teams just can't keep up. But Already Been Chewed has been operating since 2010. They have consistently navigated the shift from traditional media to digital, to social, and now to these fully immersive 3D experiences, all while keeping their massive roster of high-end clients perfectly happy through 2022 and way beyond. That kind of longevity, it's the ultimate proof of concept. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a pretty provocative thought, and it connects right back to ABC's core mission. In a world of just endless content, are immersive live experiences now the absolute necessity for a brand's survival? I mean, we scroll past thousands of images a day. Static logos? They just aren't enough anymore. Whether it's Tiffany and Company or the Baltimore Ravens, brands are realizing they have to literally pull us into their worlds, using top-tier motion graphics and 3D animation just to hold our attention for a few seconds. I really want you to think about that the next time a commercial or a stadium jumbotron makes you stop and stare. There's a good chance you might just be looking at something that has already been chewed. Thanks for joining me today, Focus Learners. Keep asking questions, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.